We foreigners sometimes think Karnataka is the IT advanced high-tech.
Sure. See, it's only certain parts of it. And when we talk about IT, it's only hiring only a very small percentage of the population. Yes, it's a lot of media hype, but the population you're talking about, Karnataka being 46 million, and less than what, couple of million if related IT industry, but it's not Karnataka. Karnataka is of people of 44 million, most of them 70% in the rural areas. Then the people who have electricity, 50% of them are suffering from power cuts anywhere between 2 to 3 hours a day to 19 hours a day. So you can imagine what the power situation is. I mean, it's actually not getting better. It's not getting better. We have plans, but I don't think so we have enough capacity to go to the rural areas to do that. And it is an issue for our development.
I see. And then you started business, Selco.
Right.
So could you explain what is unique?
See, it's not, I mean, in terms of uniqueness, but it's what when we started this as a social business 16, 17 years ago, basically to destroy some myths that poor cannot afford technologies, poor cannot maintain technologies, and you can't run a commercial venture while trying to meet social objectives. We wanted to flip it. Today, everybody talks about poor as beneficiaries. Why should poor be called as beneficiaries? Can't poor be stakeholders? Can't poor be clients? Can't poor be the innovators? Right? So we wanted to create a business where the end users are part of the business. Not only, oh, we are going to do a charity and that's how they're going to develop. And that's the whole, we used sustainable energy as a way where we said we were going to provide sustainable energy services to our clients in a way that improves the quality of life, and secondly, it's going to increase their incomes so that the overall house or household and the community and the village develops, where they, see, 80% of our employees, Selco's employees, are from the villages. So you're doing a holistic, not only you're developing the end users, you're developing the employees, you're developing the company as a social enterprise which is doing a holistic development.
Selco specializes in installing solar panels on roofs and other parts of homes and buildings. With solar panels, people living in rural areas do not need to wait until electric lines or power plants are installed. They can start using electricity today. Since its founding, Selco has installed solar systems in over 100,000 households. With an average of 6 people per household, that means 600,000 more people now have access to electricity. This growth was made possible by an idea that Hyundai had based on the unique needs and strengths of rural India.
What we do is we have 21 offices in rural parts of Karnataka, and the radius is normally of offices. How long can a technician go in 2 hours? Yeah, and that's the radius of that business. And that's where these technicians would actually go to individual households, look at what the needs are, install it, and then the bank would then finance it, and the bank would then pay. That's a typical business model of ours. Doorstep service with doorstep financing. And that's what Selco's model is. India has over the rest of the developing countries is that it has a very good financial network in the rural areas, which was developed because of agricultural financing in the early 70s by Mrs. Gandhi. So we are piggybacking on that banking system to get finance. When we talk about 8% growth or 9% growth is only for a certain population of the country. It's not for the whole country. I mean, we are not doing a sustainable growth. Look at what the rural areas are. Why are half the population living less than $1 a day? Where is the trickle effect? People are talking of trickle effect. That's why people like us who actually seen the rural reality are saying that there has to be equitable growth. For India, the key to growth is removing poverty. And that's the primary thing.
For a company targeting the global market, the key word was implementation. Inside India, our attention is now being drawn to the latent potential of many people living in poverty. India seems to be changing, Mr. Hirabayashi. Previously, poverty was simply a bad thing. But now poverty is acquiring the brighter association of latent potential. What is the key to make use of this potential?
Education. I think the key word is education. This is true for every country for modernization. Japan was one of such examples of successful modernization thanks to education system. India is very reputed to have excellent Indian Institutes of Technology and similar institute, which may be comparable to Massachusetts Institute of Technology of Boston, for example. They produce every year hundreds of thousands of talents which are coming into IT, software engineer industry and manufacturing industries.
And what about primary education?
Yes, I think not only higher education, the basic education is indispensable. Universal basic education. Poor parents cannot allow their children to go to school. Instead, they force them to work in the fields. Illiteracy rate of India is almost 30%. In order to raise the literacy rate, which is indispensable for modernization, for growth, I think the central government and the state governments have to make further efforts to promote basic education.
And what kind of change you can see now or as evident improvement?
There are many changes. For example, there is the conspicuous presence of foreign direct investment in India. Thanks to the policy of the government, the foreign direct investment has been coming into Indian society, and they bring their capital, technology, managerial skills, and many excellent practice of industry. Thanks to that, the Indian industries themselves are becoming more sophisticated, more modernized. The competitions are become universal. That are raising the standard of industrialization of India.
I see. India is seeking growth that goes beyond IT and the pharmaceutical industries, growth that includes other industries and the human resources. But can this be done? Can India really join the ranks of advanced nations? To explore more on this prospect, we now listen to Mr. Hari Bhartia, the President of Confederation of Indian Industry.
For India, the key to growth is inclusion of the society and entrepreneurship.
Hari Bhartia, the president of the Confederation of Indian Industry, is also a leader of the Jubilant Bhartia Group, a conglomerate. As such, he is exploring multiple business opportunities in everything from oil field development to the manufacture of life science products. Large financial conglomerates play an important role in the Indian economy as leaders in key sectors of secondary industry, such as manufacturing and mining. Now, these conglomerates are becoming even more diverse. Bhartia's group is also in the retail business with a pizza delivery service that can interface directly with India's 1.2 billion people. This embodies the conglomerate approach in contemporary India.
The lifestyle in India is also changing. So, because husband and wife are now working in India, in the urban areas, people have less time for cooking. And pizza is a great product. It is, you can have vegetarian pizza, you can have pizza with tandoori chicken on top, you can have pizza with seafood on top. So it has flexibility, It can be designed for a particular customer. So Indian people like this product very much. And they like the service of getting it delivered at home within a certain period of time. That's why we decided to go into this business.
I see.
You know, founded by two brothers. It's a family business. My elder brother Shyam and myself, we founded this business. So family has invested in many ventures. So these are all separate ventures which has its own management and own growth strategies, own vision. So, and run by professionals in the different companies that they are. So the idea is that India is growing at 10%. We need different kind of products and services. See, if there is opportunity in every area. Life science is very big. Oil exploration is an unlimited energy requirement in India. The food service and retail business is only 5 to 7% organized. So there is a lot of room to grow. So whenever we see a large opportunity, we invest in those areas from the family side.
Would you describe India growth as typically Indians? If so, how it is?
No, India growth is, I think, is different in a manner that it is completely entrepreneur driven. There is no top-down approach. It's driven by micro enterprise, small enterprise, medium enterprise, large industries. So everybody is contributing to growth. So in my view, there is a lot of entrepreneurship in India which is driving growth. And you know, in India there is no social security. So everybody has to be entrepreneurial to survive.
Today we heard from several Indians on the future of Indian economy. Could you share your final thoughts on today's three key phrases and your impression on the future of India?
My impression is that India's future is brighter and brighter. The Indian people believes in the future and they are confident of themselves. If they continue to be reminded of three keywords, their dynamic development will be assured.
It would be interesting to know your take on today's three key phrases: implementation, removing poverty, and entrepreneurship, and what they reveal about India. For this special program, Dynamic India, we were joined by Mr. Hiroshi Hirabayashi, President of the Japan-India Association. Thank you for watching.